Shane's Rib Shack, sports in focus, baseball in focus, basketball in focus, football in focus, everything in focus tonight at Shane's Rib Shack for a Thursday. Good to be back at Shane's in last week, now back this week for another good roundup. Going to begin things off with our leadoff man tonight. Leadoff man is going to be Charlie Pannell. Charlie with the Farm Bureau Insurance Baseball Tournament. First question for Charlie. Give us the full-fledged pitch, Charlie, for the tournament. All the details, the times, the teams that you can send our way. What's the full-fledged pitch?
The full pitch, huh?
Yes, sir.
Well, Andy, you know this is will be the fifth year we've run this tournament, and last year Farm Bureau came in as a major sponsor on this thing. Don Moore, your buddy with the
Grasshoppers,
has really done a great job in helping us do this. When Farm Bureau came in last year, it enabled us to give away some scholarship money to some kids. In other words, last year we gave away two $1,000 scholarships to a player on each one of the teams in the championship round, and we gave away two $500 scholarships for players in the next bracket below, the third and fourth place finisher. Yeah. And we'll do that again this year. We're in the process of getting our program put together. We really had a nice program last year. All kinds of people sponsoring, Pleasant Garden Drug, Kyle Faust and Four Cover and Associates and people like that again this year, and we're adding more sponsors.
Have you got the same people working with you as far as your tournament group, as far as
the
workers?
Yeah, but you know when kids graduate, you're always bringing in new help.
That's why I was asking. Sometimes you've been able to keep Dave Michaels around for a few years.
We did. We've kept Dave Michaels around, and Dave's helped us a bunch and everything, and helping me quite a bit in the Junior Legion program we run. Big news on this thing, we're going to have a tough field of teams. The first round starts Wednesday, March 30th. Game one will be Westland Christian Academy. They're the defending champions against Wheatmore. That game will be at 11 a.m.
Good thing about Wheatmore, they've been there just about every year with you.
Yes, they have. And you know, Andy, last year we brought Wesleyan in, and we have had URI Charters been in for about 3 years now.
Yep, ever since they started.
And their program's getting stronger and stronger. When people say that your public school teams are afraid to play the private teams, private schools, that's not true at Southeast Guilford. We've brought in Wesleyan Christian Academy and URI, and of course in the fall league, where our Junior Legion team from Southeast, we play in the fall league.
Christian Academy, right?
Yeah, we play High Point Christian Academy and Wesleyan. We play all of these teams in the fall in our Junior Legion program over at the High Toms. So that's good to know. The next game will be Northern Guilford against Winston-Salem Reagan at 1:30.
That's going to be a big game, too, because Northern wants to win that first game to make it to the semis. They got some very good pitching out there. Still got Cameron Cotter. It's still got Josh Pike, two very good pitchers. Got some other pitchers on that staff, too. I know Landy Kimmery, very proud of what his team is doing this year. I think they're 7-3 overall and playing in that tough Mid-State 3A conference. That's probably the toughest overall conference through all 1, 2, 3, 4A in the state. That's got to be the toughest conference around. There's no doubt about it.
Southeast played Northern, and we were able to beat them
7-1, first game of the year at least for Southeast. That was Northern's second game.
That was the game that Chris Shibley, a junior we've got, big old 6'4" kid, had, what was it, Andy, 13 strikeouts in that game?
That was the night that Frosty the Snowman came to the game and stayed the entire night. It was so cold. He didn't have to leave. Yeah. So cold that it nearly froze.
And Shibley had a great game in that one. Anyway, the third game on March the 30th will be Southeast Guilford 9-0. So far this year.
Could be 10-0. They got a big game at Roundabout tonight, right? Big game tonight.
Well, don't count your chickens before you hatch.
Sometimes it's tough. That last game before the break is always a tough game. Because people think about getting that little bit of a vacation before you start the tournament next week. That last game before the break, man, that's a tough game.
We beat Randleman earlier.
They used to call that the old trap game. That was a trap game.
We were able to beat Randleman earlier this year at our place. Yep, and of course, Jake Smith, we love him to death. He's a great guy. But that's a good little rivalry.
They've been in the
Southeast
finals. They've
and
won that
Random.
thing at least 2 years.
Oh,
Random
yeah.
has, yeah.
Jake's done a heck of a job.
And Van Hurley did a
with
great
him.
job before Jake. Now Jake
Yeah.
doing it, yeah.
And, of course, let's see here. Where did we stop? Southeast?
You're talking Southeast Rockingham County. George Barber coaches Rockingham County. George Barber's an excellent coach. He's still got a couple of Zarates. One of those Zarates graduated, 2 Zarates there. He's still got that kid Gavin Taylor. Gavin Taylor was like our GreensboroSports.com outside the area player of the year probably about 3 years ago. The kid, I think, was a freshman. He was a senior this year. Gavin Taylor has some talent. That Rockingham County team is tough.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. I talked to Dale Mosley the other day, and he went and saw the Rockingham County Northern game, and they had one of their big pitchers. I think it was what's his name, Cotter? Or
Cameron Cotter?
yeah, had him on the mound, and Dale Rockingham County handled him pretty easy.
He has a 1-0 game, I think. That was the game that was last Friday night.
No.
I saw Moser over the Page game last week. I think that was that game, because that game ended like just, it was such a quick game. It was 1-0. Some other people sent a score in later. They sent a higher score, like a 9-3, but 9-3 turned out to be the softball game. But that was, I think that might have been last Friday night's game, if I'm not mistaken. At least that's the night I saw Moser at Page.
He told me the game, well, maybe it wasn't Northern, but somebody they played.
And you were over there last Friday night too at Page.
Yeah, Rockingham, he told me, he says, Charlie, they got some hitters.
Yeah.
They hit the baseball.
Bad thing is they were like unbeaten, and they got beat by Eastern Alamance 18-3, which shows you how tough that conference is. Eastern Alamance is a tough team. Then they got beat back on Tuesday. Reedsville beat Rockingham County 4-2, so Rockingham County was cruising 8-0. Now they're 8-2, but very good team. If I were Southeast, I'd be very concerned about that first game.
I guarantee you.
Might want to throw one of your better pitchers. Could be Alley, could be maybe the guy kid. You got a couple of Alleys. Got the guy kid. Got Shively. Shively's back. Got a good pitching staff.
Yes, we do have a good pitching staff. The next game will be, that day will be Randleman. There's a note here that number 2
Number 2 in the state, 2A preseason Impact Baseball.
Randleman is ranked number 2 in the state in baseball, and against Uwharrie County and Van Hurley. And I'll tell you, there's no love lost there between those teams, simply because all of those Randolph County teams, they don't like Uwharrie Charter because they claim they tend to recruit their players.
Tell you one thing they do, though, they get those guys in there, they keep them there. A lot of the guys he's got on that Uwharrie Charter roster, those guys have been there the past 3 or 4 years. He's kind of locked those kids. He's got that Bobby Weary kid, some other kids been there the whole time. So those kids have grown up with your tournament. They've grown up with that school.
And they've gotten better year after year.
Yeah, they're in the, like I said, they're in the Graham East. They may win the Graham Easter tournament. They win that, they'd be coming in there off of a tournament win. They can win that and they come to your place. That'd be a big step for them.
Well, these kids down there at UR, when they first came in, they were basically all freshmen.
Young, real young. They took their lumps, but man, I tell you what, they kept coming. They kept coming.
2 years. Now the third, these kids are juniors.
Yeah, and Alley, remember Alley threw a no-hitter last year in the first game for Southeast. Thorne Alley threw that no-hitter last year.
Yep.
Sure did.
Yep. Thorne may be starting tonight against Randleman. I don't know. I heard that he would.
We get to semifinals on Thursday. Got Wesleyan, Wheatmore winner versus Northern and Reagan. That semifinal game. Depending on who gets in, that could be a real good one too. Because Wesleyan, people still talk a lot about what, but Wesleyan actually is down a little bit this year. Had such a good year last year. They're down a little bit. I think High Point Christian's the primo team over in High Point this year, but Wesleyan I think now it's about maybe 6-3. They've lost some games. But they got beat by Westchester the other night, in fact. Got beat, I think, in that game maybe 7-3. But anyway, Coach Scott Davis, he runs a good club. He's a good coach.
Yeah, and of course,
big background.
Coach Gazelle his young men over there.
Corey
his
Gazelle.
Boys,
His pitchers are grown men. I mean, they're not necessarily age-wise grown men. They're just big, young men. He's got some big kids in that team at High Point Christian Academy.
I'll tell you what, we took in the fall league, we took our young kids and threw them in there against that High Point, some of those big pitchers, and quite frankly, it was not pretty because those kids are young.
Yeah.
But it's helped them. It's helped them in, mature.
Tell you about your tournament down there with Dave Beasley involved and Charlie Pannell involved. I think one of the best things about that tournament, 4 games daily, admission price $5 for the day. You can see 4 games for $5. That's just a little over $1 a game. I mean, you get to at 11 o'clock, and your last game's going to start at 6:30. Hopefully, be done by about 8 o'clock or 8:30. You can take 4 games in a short span of time for like $5.
Well, I'm going to tell you what, it is a deal, and the kids love it. Rockingham County, Wheatmore, Northern, all these teams have always brought in a good fan base.
Oh, yeah.
And, Buddy, the first day has been big, but then usually the finals every year has been very exciting with big crowds.
Absolutely.
And, of course, we'll be broadcasting it again on Greensboro Sports Radio, Andy and I, every game live. And those kids love that because Andy streams it all day and night over and over, and they go home and get to listen to the things. And then we had people call us from as far away as Ohio and Canada.
Yeah.
We even got one time from folks that were in London, England, that were listening to their grandson play.
Huh, is that right?
Yes,
I
sir.
didn't know about that one. That's
Yes,
pretty good. London, England, that's not bad, not
I
bad.
remember that.
Huh, that's good stuff. That's what you like, though, because you get that outreach, and you never know who's going to be listening, and like you say, never know where they're going to be at, because so many people have relatives all over the world.
I remember one game there at Randy, we looked at it, we had over 550 some hits, and the thing of it is, those hits record like one hit, but you don't know how many people are sitting there.
5 people together sitting there listening to it.
In fact, some of the Page people sat over there, what's the little tavern down from the field?
Left Field Tavern?
It's a private tavern, sits outside the field.
Oh, yeah. But probably they used to be called the Left Field Tavern. I don't know what they call it now. It may have changed names.
Well, anyway, we got word last year that they got the bar owner to tune it in, and they're sitting there eating, the whole crowd, about 10 of them eating, getting ready for the next game, listening to the broadcast, what was going on.
Could have been Fisher's Grill, maybe, too.
Yeah.
That's close by.
That was
Fisher's
it.
Grill, yeah.
I believe it was Fisher's.
Doug Jones, the old Fisher's Grill, because they do serve food there. I don't think the old Left Field Tavern, I don't think they used to serve food
I
there.
believe you're right, it was Fisher's.
Fisher's
Yes,
Grill.
it was.
Yeah, we won't have the Page people this year, we won't have the Griffiths people, but it's good to have Rockingham County back, and good to have Reagan coming in. What's them Reagan?
Well, tell me, what about Reagan's deal?
3-6 on the
real
year.
hot this year. And
They're usually good. They play some tough competition. I think one of our teams over and beat them maybe a week or so back. I don't know if it's Northwest or who played Reagan. Beat them maybe by 1 run. Pretty close game. Pretty close ball game. Pretty windy night tonight, too, outside.
Oh, yeah. We, this tournament, usually we get a lot of college coaches and scouts come see this tournament.
Yeah, you should, because around the area, you got Greensboro College, Guilford College, you got GTCC, John Barra, you got NCA&T, got 4 schools playing serious baseball around here.
Yes, sir, buddy. Well, mentioning A&T, Andy, to digress a little bit, one thing that's happening we ought to mention is this year there'll be a new Senior Legion team in Greensboro. Greg Swear, who runs the High Times organization, has teamed up with Dale Moser, and this year they're starting the team. They'll be drawing kids from Southeast Guilford, Dudley, and Eastern Randolph. And they're looking and trying to decide on some other schools that they'll be drawing from.
We just had to get the numbers down, get those bigger schools. You got to deal with those bigger numbers.
You have to stay under a certain enrollment. I think it's 5,000 number in Legion ball, but they've got a good start to it, and they're going to be playing their games, it looks like, at Memorial Stadium.
Yeah,
I think they've got something worked out with A&T and going to be playing there.
There's still a little work to be done down there. Talked to some people that went to a couple of A&T games. Still some work to be done. They're trying to get some things done. A&T's kind of had their hands tied so far since they took over the stadium, but they have some plans. Want to get some things done down there as time goes on. It should be really good.
Well, there's a lot of history in that stadium, Andy.
Yeah, and you got some limitations. It starts still with the history of that stadium. Certain things you can and cannot do. They won't allow you to make certain improvements that kind of draws you back a little bit. But you just got to follow the protocol that the Historical Society in the state set up.
But that team, there's an interesting note, that team's going to be called the Greensboro Red Wings, that Senior Legion team. And the thing of it is, Andy, I asked Dale, I said, Dale, where did you come up with that? He said, well, Charlie, I wanted something that would tie it to Greensboro. Well, brother, he found it. Actually, there was a team called the Greensboro Red Wings. It started down off
Goshen.
Randleman Road, the old Goshen neighborhood. There's a historical marker there. That
Still a church down there, too.
Yeah, still a church there. That was Afro-American or black community down there. And in the 30s, they started a all-Negro baseball team and played in the Carolina Negro Major League program or whatever.
Yeah, Mr. Alston, it was Alston that played for that team. He later made it as high as the major leagues, I think, and he passed away a little while back.
There was. That team started, their name was the Goshen Red Wings, and then they changed it to the Greensboro Red Wings. And the tie-in, it was the one and first and only black baseball team to play in Memorial Stadium. They played there from 38 to 48.
It's amazing.
Yes, sir.
Quite a run. Well, Charlie, talk more about the tournament downtown starting next Wednesday, going Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Quite a week coming up next week. Going to be a very busy week for you guys.
I'm going to tell you,
I'm going to make a move while you do that. I'm working on our banner outside. Get the pump up that. You got it done? Okay, Don's going to make the banner move. We'll keep you rolling. But back to again about the tournament. I mean, so many games over just a few days and such a good price and so many good teams to see.
And a beautiful facility. I mean, what better facility could you play in? And Don Moore and his folks, they've got all the concessions going and all that. They're really great hosts. And I'm going to tell you, Andy, that's a deal. People just pay their $5 and stay all day.
And back to the first year, Southeast won it the first year. Then I think Random won it a couple of years. Last year was the fourth year. Wesleyan won it last year. And now going to be anybody's tournament this year. But going back to that first year, that was back in the days of Dallas Newton and Austin Bain, those guys that played for Southeast back then.
I remember one thing. I'd sent out emails and made phone calls to college coaches. And that first game, I believe, might have been Southeast versus Durham. And in that game, you had two kids that were unsigned that were throwing the ball 90 miles an hour. And that was the Kimber kid
Corey
for
Kimber,
Dudley and Dallas Newton at Southeast. And I never will forget, as I was coming in the gate, and here come one of the coaches from High Point Central out to get his a new set of batteries for his radar gun. And he says, I hope his radar gun's right. He said, that black boy from Dudley, that Kimber kid's throwing it. I got him at 92. I said, well, partner, your gun's right.
Yeah, he needs to go get that gun adjusted because he's throwing 97 now.
Yeah.
Up to 97.
And Dallas is doing well with Arizona, hitting 94.
Austin Bain, though, going back to Mr. Bain, he had a big tournament back in that day.
Well, he did.
One of the top players in that tournament.
He did hit the crap out of it. Austin played well, and then, he went to Randolph-Macon, and his freshman year at Randolph-Macon, he towed the rubber for them in the conference tournament or conference championship in the ODAC conference and beat Bridgewood. Went 6.5 innings and beat Bridgewood, put them in the Division III World Series.
Tell you another interesting note too. Our buddy Kenny Makovic. Kenny played for Page last year. His dad ran the Legion team here in town last year. Helped get it back to Greensboro. Now Mr. Swear and the company take it over. But back to Makovic. He came in here back on Tuesday with Roanoke College. They beat Guilford 18-7, and Kenny got the win, 2-0.
Well, he's a good athlete.
Tall kid. Got a lot of potential.
He's a great athlete. I'm glad to hear that.
But that $5 deal, I mean, we talk about all the restaurants. They have some $5 nice deals here too at Shane's. They've got that great deal for that smoked half chicken, $9.99. But a lot of restaurants have the $5 deal. But not too many baseball parks have a $5 deal where you can get in and see 4 games for $5 in one day. That's amazing.
Not many. In fact, a lot of the high schools now are charging $6 just for one game.
For one game, that's right. That's how it's changed. It's been crazy.
But Southeast Guilford, we've played a lot of away games so far.
Yeah.
And our season after the tournament, thank goodness, we're going to be playing at home more.
You look at that tournament. By the time that tournament's over, pretty much for Southeast and all other teams pretty much involved, the season's going to be half over. That's hard to believe.
See, we haven't played Southern Alamance or Dudley.
No, you haven't played the conference games.
We haven't played any conference games.
Got 9. You have 10 games under your belt tonight. That's 10 games. You play guaranteed 3 more down there. That's 13 games. They're allowed to play between 24, 25 games. You'll be halfway to 26 with 13 after the tournament. So pretty much it's conference games after that.
Conference games.
Season's half over.
I'm awful proud at Southeast Guilford.
Young
we
team.
were able to build and finish our concession
Oh, yeah,
stand
heard
and
about that.
bathrooms,
Yeah.
Andy.
Got new
and
bathrooms.
We've
Wow.
got the best hot dog in town.
That bathroom situation is probably a lot better because you had those portalettes for quite a few years.
Man, we're proud of that, and
That's so.
you won't recognize the place. Dino Hackett helped us quite a bit and poured a lot of concrete for us and got it.
So it's all up and going. It's running.
Looking, yes, sir. Looking
Wow.
beautiful.
Have you had a dedication down there yet?
Well, you know, the field was dedicated.
I remember that night they dedicated to
named for
Kevin Callahan. Yeah.
I'll leave
remember
the
that night.
dedication of the concession stand to somebody else.
You need to get Mo Green in there before he leaves town, so Mo can be available for that.
We might have to name it after Linda Welker, our gal on the school board down there that helped us so much with
no
it.
doubt about it. Yeah, get
You
those
know?
people involved. Yeah, yeah.
And we thank her for everything she did. Southeast Guilford had a complete refurbishment, baseball, football, new field house, redid and moved the stadium as far as added an extra lane for the track and everything.
Well, how about to the baseball tournament? How did this tournament get started? It's 5 years. This will be the 5th year. I know you and Dave Beasley were big guys behind getting it going. How did the tournament get started
I'm
here?
going to give most of the credit to Dave Beasley. Dave had the idea of doing this tournament and wanted to do it kind of like a Big Four.
Yeah.
They're all Greensboro teams. And he took the idea to Don Moore, and Don, yes, supported it and jumped on it. Dave's the man that started it. But what we did, we run it, it's like a fundraising project for Southeast Junior Legion Baseball. Mm-hmm. And we run it as a fundraiser for our program.
The tournament.
If you notice, though, what we do for the teams that participate, not only are we giving away scholarship money to the kids, but each team will divide the profits up at the end of the tournament and split it even Steven. So these guys come in, there's no charge for them to come in and play the tournament. We take care of everything from paying the umpires to handling all of it. We go out and try to get sponsors and so forth, and then we end up splitting the profits, 8 ways.
So it's run a lot like the Hayco tournament, the basketball tournament, Christmas tournament at the Coliseum, kind of along that same line.
Right.
Run along that line.
And, we tried to get all Grimsley teams or all Greensboro teams. We just couldn't quite do that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, some teams want to play, some want to take that time off, and it's just way one year they may want to play, next year they might have a group of kids, a group of parents that say they want to go out of town that week. You never know, but
That's right.
and you want to get competitive teams too. You don't bring a team in sometimes. You want the most competitive tournament you can have because that's what draws interest in those scouts and commanding fans.
We've tried to do this year.
Yeah,
is
exactly.
We've had teams. You remember that one year we pulled a team from
Out of
Greensboro Road,
Raleigh, yeah,
and they were a powerhouse.
green team, yeah.
I mean. And we had scouts coming and college coaches from all over that tournament.
Used to have McMichael too. Carl Erskine used to come in. They were in there for a couple of years. Did a good job.
They good. How are they doing, Michael?
I think they're about 5-5 or 4-5 these days. About half and half. About half and half.
Well, brought Reagan and Rockingham in. They were ranked high. Dave sat down and tried to figure what he thought would be stronger programs.
I think you'll get some good fan support. Again, like you said, Rockingham County, very good fan support from Wesleyan, from Reagan, since it's new for them this year. They should bring a lot of people over. Southeast is going to bring a good crowd. And you look at Uwharrie is a growing bunch. There are people follow them everywhere they go. Randleman, that's they got a big fan base down there.
You remember when they were in the championship and I forget who it was, Jake Smith. It might have been Rockingham. Rockingham, I believe it was, won it 1 year over Randleman.
I think Randleman won it twice. I don't think Rockingham got it. I may be wrong. I don't think Rockingham won it. I may be wrong. We'll ask George to say next week.
Somebody did, because I remember.
Randleman might have been in 3 straight years then.
No, it was one of them knocked Randleman out. And I remember Jake Smith was so aggravated over that. Oh, man. But they brought, the times they were in the championship, the Randleman people filled that place up.
They can come. They definitely
sure
will be there
did.
in large numbers. You look at your young players. We didn't mention that Ryan Douglas kid. You hadn't seen him pitch yet. Been hearing a lot about him. When's he going to pitch?
Well, Dave brought him up the other day, and I'm not sure when he's going to use him. But he has pitched some in JVs and done real well. I put the radar gun on him the other day, and the kid was pretty consistent on 84, okay, and hit 86 a time or two. He, is a quarterback. Came in. He's just a freshman, and came in as a freshman quarterback. Good night. He's got an arm. Really does. And we've got good young people at Southeast. The Shibley kid, I think, is a college prospect, along with the Tyler Alley kid, I think, is a prospect. He's going this weekend to visit up at Emory and Henry.
Not bad. Odak, Odak. Yeah.
And Caleb Smith is going to Guilford, as you know.
Yeah, little Caleb, yeah.
We've got good athletes and good people, a good prospect. Christian Rodriguez is a kid that I think is a good college prospect. So is Forrest Brothers, probably one of the best athletes on the field.
Let's put this ball back in Dave Beasley's hands again. How's Dave get all this done? He runs the tournament, plus he coaches too. How's he get all this done?
Well, I'm going to tell you, Dave, we've got a good family at Southeast. The Southeast baseball program, everything from running the concessions to running this tournament to running in the summer the Junior Legion program and the concessions for that, the whole 9 yards. Our parents step in and help, Andy. You've got to have that.
Yeah, I know the Alley brothers. They help quite a bit. I've seen those guys almost all the games.
Oh yeah, I have. They help.
Smith family, the Smiths help a lot too.
Yes, sir.
Caleb Smith and that little Carson. I think Carson's a little guy. He was with us a couple weeks ago over here.
Runner-up.
Yep.
As a
state
freshman
title.
wrestling for the state.
Beat Dylan Cook out of Ragsdale in the semifinals.
He sure did. No, we've had people like Dave Michaels and John Shibley, his
and
family.
don't forget McDade. McDade is he's a hound dog.
But McDade has gone to the tournament every year and do the announcing of each game.
Oh yeah, that's a lot of games.
That's a lot of work.
It is.
I'm going to tell
What's
you.
his first name? John?
John.
I thought
and
John McDade.
His son, who's a starting catcher, is signed and
Austin,
going down.
right? Austin McDade, yeah.
Austin is going down to LaGrange.
LaGrange, yeah.
Fine program on the D3 level.
Yeah, they play Greensboro College. You'll be able to play Greensboro College, some other area D3 teams.
But I'm going to tell you, their facility down there at LaGrange is first class.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. I saw their website. It looks good. It looks real good. Well, say, if you looked ahead on this, I hate to look ahead too much because, don't want to be looking too far in the future, but any idea what the future cast is for next week weather-wise?
I don't know about that, but I know one thing. When we get into conference play and go up against Dudley and Southern Alamance, I'm going to tell you something. Dudley has got talent. They're one of the best baseball teams around.
Oh, yeah. But what about that weather forecast?
I don't know, Andy.
Nothing.
Wow. I thought that was your job.
It will be, but I missed it last night. I think I missed Grant Gilmore was talking about I think I remember about his weathercast. He was impersonating a bunny rabbit last night, jackrabbit. They didn't have any rabbit visuals for the TV, so he was standing on like a jackrabbit.
I know.
Not a jackass, but a jackrabbit.
I
He was
did
doing
check
that last
the
night.
weather report for Easter Sunday.
Right, it's supposed to be a little rain, maybe.
Well, in the afternoon or evening, so Sarah Beth will be able to get that sunrise service in down at Lemon Springs United Methodist Church.
Give us the lowdown one more time when the tournament starts next Wednesday. Runs Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. $5 to get in, and you can stay all day.
First game Wednesday at 11 o'clock between Wesleyan Christian Academy and Wheatmore. Then Northern Guilford will be the next game against Winston-Salem Reagan at 1:30. At 4 o'clock, Southeast Guilford versus Rockingham County. That's two strong teams, Andy.
Very strong.
And then you've got Randall, a strong team, going against one of their arch rivals down there, Uwharrie County. The ex-coach of Randall, Van Hurley, against the man that took over and took his job at Randall, Jake Smith.
Yeah, you're right, charter. We got a charter school coming in later tonight, too. We got the Piedmont Classical School, the charter school. That's where Coach Alley coaches, assistant coach baseball at Piedmont Classical.
And
they're coming in next here in just a second.
You were talking about who helped me. Chris helped coach our Junior Legion program. When we start that thing in the summer, Dave Beasley and Coach Gamble can't coach it until school's over with.
Absolutely.
So for the past couple of years, Chris Alley and Shannon Smith have coached it for us till our coaches can take over and finish it out.
Gotcha.
And he's doing a great job, and he won his first game the other day at that new
I heard they
school,
got a
didn't
win.
he?
They sure did.
Yeah.
See, the fun thing about that tournament is seeing the kids. I always like seeing the kids coming up that back sidewalk from that back gate, from that back parking lot, carrying the baseball bats, wearing their caps. I always like to see the kids filing in for the game, their upcoming game. They always get there early, see that group walk in as a team, like they're headed off to
Oh,
war.
yeah. And they, but I'm going to tell you what, I never will forget taking a chartered a couple of 16-passenger buses to take our junior legion team down to the other side of Chapel Hill and play. And they'd gone by the time the kids got all those bat bags on the vans. I thought I was going to have to go rush out and get a third van.
Stop unloading.
I've never seen such equipment these kids carry nowadays.
It's amazing. Charlie, we got to let you get rolling. Next set
Okay,
coming
brother.
in. Great job.
Good
We'll
to
see you.
and
Yes,
we'll
sir.
see you Wednesday.
See you Wednesday about, this game starts 11, be there probably about 9:30.
I'll have to get up early, won't boss.
Yep, everybody will that day. Just get used to getting back out there. Get back to the old ballpark.
All right.
Charlie, thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Do an outstanding job. Charlie Pannell, Mr. Pannell, Charles Pannell from the Southeast Guilford tournament next week. Going to be the Farm Bureau Baseball Invitational. We got Mr. Carty coming in.